Welcome back, couples, to another episode of Young
Melinated.
and Married, where we touch on topics that we've experienced as young black married couples, and we know you've experienced these too.
Yes, yes. And today, we want to go into some tips, some tricks, things that we've been through to help us get through that time when it comes to nurturing friendships, you know, making those social connections, and also keeping your own individuality while you're married. Because sometimes you get lost in the marriage, and then years down the line, you realize you don't even know who you are, what you love to do. So these are things that has helped us in our relationship over the past 6 years, going on 7 years now. So if you think about, nurturing friendships and those social connections and how to do that, the first thing you want to do, which this is with anything, is communication. And I'm not going to lie, with me personally, I'm not great with communicating with my friends, and I haven't I don't have like a steady communication like relationship with my friends from back in the States, because currently we live in the Gambia. And but Mzadi, she has a way better connection with like our she's way better at staying connected and communicating with her friends, even with us living here. So I can let her speak on that a little bit more.
Yeah. Inside of a marriage, like you said, it's easy to get lost. And I think that as a woman, and especially as a black woman, we tend to have friends, find the person that we marry, our spouse, get married, and then it start to drift away from those friends. And I don't want to necessarily say that that's a bad thing, because sometimes the friend group that you're in um, is more toxic than loving. And then sometimes the friend group that you're in does actually love you and really is happy for you in that marriage and understands the distance that's created once you do get married, because you can't do everything now. As a married woman, I'm not going out with my single friends every night taking shots like I was before I got married and had kids. And so you just have to look at yourself, look at your life, look at the circumstances and what you are you and your spouse are willing to compromise on, because you do have those married couples that go out way more often, even if they do have the kids, where
Yes.
the husband try to support her in her individuality and will watch the kids while she goes out. And then, we all know the story of the woman being home with her children while the man is out with his boys. So it's just a matter of, like Adam said, communicating with you and your spouse, and knowing what you want to do as an individual, and knowing the type of friends that you have and whether or not those friends are friends, because a lot of times when you get into serious committed relationships, you find out who your real friends are.
Yes.
And then um it creates that dynamic of, oh girl, you've changed, when yes, we all change. The plan in life should be for us to all grow and
Yes.
to become new people. Me as a person, I'm a social introvert. So I like to go out and be around people, but I also don't mind being out and being around people and literally talking to nobody.
Hmm.
Like I can just sit there and watch people. I'm a people watcher, but I also like to talk to people, and people like to talk to me, and just they'll just spill their life story for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about, but
Yeah, I've had that quality growing up as well, where it's very easy to communicate with me and very easy to speak to me. In my later years now, I'll say later years, I'm not old or anything, but as an adult, you go separate ways in life, whether it's work, business, location you live, but boundaries is so important. Setting boundaries, knowing your boundaries in your marriage, knowing your boundaries with your friendships, knowing who you are as a person, that's very important. And this is all, building a supportive network. This is for building a supportive network of friends and family. So, like we said, the first thing, communication is so, so important. Now, next, you're going to think about, quality time, because setting quality time for yourself, right? And this is for your individuality. You want to have quality time to be able to go out, do things by yourself, or quality time even with your loved one in your marriage, where y'all go when y'all have days at the beach, or y'all have days, going to eat out. Like how my wife, how she just said, you have that supportive relationship where if you want to go and do something, your husband's watching the kids. That allows your other half to have the quality time to themselves, to reflect, to keep in mind who they are and what their passions are. And a lot of us don't have that. A lot of us, I hear stories every day about people having to take care of 5, 6 kids, 3 kids, whatever, 2 kids, whatever number it is, by themselves, and the husband's not there. And they don't have any quality time to themselves. Either they're working, or they're taking care of the kids, or they're cooking, but the house is still filled with kids. And it doesn't have to just be kids, because you can be in the house with your husband all the time, or your wife all the time, and not have that time to yourself, to be able to connect with yourself and still have that individuality in your marriage. Because oftentimes people forget that a marriage is not just two people coming together, but you're actually still an individual. You still have to have your own mind, you still have to have your own passions. So me with my wife, if she needs to go out and do something business wise, hell, if she just wants to go out and buy a dress or something like that, or go to the market or something, I have no problem with keeping the kids. I'll have them however long need be. She go out and do what she needs to do, and vice versa. And that also comes with having trust in your partner as well, because a lot of relationships, they had something major happen early on in the relationship or some period, and now there's a level of distrust. So trust comes with that too, as far as giving that time, giving that space to yourself and to your partner. What do you think, babe?
Yeah, definitely setting boundaries. Um, and like I said, it's basically the same thing that I just said earlier, which is it depends on um the relationship, the couples, as far as what type of um things that you want to allow within your marriage when it comes to going out with your friends, stuff like this. So I definitely 100% agree um, that boundaries, communication is some of the first steps to fostering um, those friendships
Hmm.
so that you can go out on an individual basis. And then when you try to look at your friends, because we don't want to only look at the individual, but we want to look at our friends too. Our friends need quality time as
Hmm.
well.
Yes.
And so, with that being said, you want to um, plan out time for them.
Hmm.
We all have busy schedules, we all have busy lives. If you're married with kids, if you're married with a dog, you are busy. And even if your friend is single, she's still busy. So
Yep.
it's not like, we're so busy as married people and our single friends are just open and free. They're busy as well, just in their own way. But what me and my friends do is we talk. I say, hey girl, we need to catch up on life. I miss you. I love you. Let me know your schedule so that I can plan with my schedule and we can set a day to talk. And
Yeah.
that's just it. And especially when you have women in your life, or men in your life that are matching your energy as far as business and things like that. We're entrepreneurs, and my both of my friends, one is a nurse, and one is a director of a clinic. So they're very busy, and so am I. And so those are just things that we do to make sure that we stay in contact with each other, even though, I'm here in Africa, they're there in America. So it's even more stressed upon that we merge schedules and we connect.
Exactly. And that's super important. If you're trying to build that supportive network, of friends and family, having that time schedule is super important. Also, you also want to try to have some type of shared values, because a lot of times you'll become friends with somebody, and I'm gonna say it's for the wrong reasons or something like that, but having shared values is an anchor point, right? It's something that you guys can connect with, whether it's music, whether it's y'all both read the same books, or y'all watch the same type of TV shows, or y'all been to the same school, or having a shared value with somebody just helps that foundation that you have with your friend, and building that connection is so important for the longevity of that friendship. Like my wife just said, she has friends that are nurses, that's a director, but that's not the shared value that she has with them. So it's the shared value that she has with them, that even though we're here in a whole different country, now she still can connect with them, she still can speak to them, they still laugh, they still have conversations. So that is super important, having those shared values.
Yeah. And that's with all relationships, any relationship,
Yes.
whether, that's a business partner, but specifically now we're talking about friendships. And then, now you want to start getting into the topic of new friends. How do we, because this is a topic that people debate often, and a lot of people are on the trend of no new friends. And me, for a while, I was even on that trend of no new friends. I'm good because people are weird. And I've come across a lot of weird individuals that will pretend to like you, but they'll end up just mimicking you, or they'll pretend to like you and they actually hate you. So, fostering friendships within a marriage, new friendships within a marriage. Let's talk about individually. Individually, me as a woman, or my husband as a man, how do we get new friends?
I think that a lot of the ways that you facilitate the friends that you already have, those assets, those the details that you do kind of play into building new friends as well. Because for one, you got to be somebody that's willing to communicate, that's willing to conversate. Like you said, you can sit down and just look at people, but you can also have people talking to you and stuff like that. So you got to be open to communicating to get new friends. And not just that, you got to have that quality time to yourself to be able to go out and have the freedom to meet new people. So those things work hand in hand. Being able to be free enough to go out and meet new people, and actually to be willing to communicate with them, is super important. But I think that as far as new friends go, even more importantly, and this is rare for something to be more important than communication, is active listening. You have to be actively listening to these individuals, because some people will give you a red flag before you even get a week, a month into knowing them. But if you're not actively listening to their conversations, what are they telling you? Like, read the signals, read the room, and really try to gauge what they're saying to you. Because sometimes somebody can be like, "Oh yeah, I had an ex and this happened. We fell out because of this reason," and you're not listening. But she's telling you that it was her, or it was him, that the reason why they fell out with the ex. And that's something that can trickle into your relationship with them, because that's a characteristic that they have. But if you're not actively listening to that person, you're just caught up in, okay, I'm finally free. I'm finally out of the house. Oh, what I got to do, what I got to go shop and get from the market today. If you're not actively listening to an individual, and this is business, this is marriage, but when getting a new friend, you can miss those red flags.
Yeah. And then, you get into the harder topic where we have struggled, and we know a lot of other married couples that have struggled in this area as well, which is finding couple friends.
Oh my goodness.
It's so hard to find another couple friends, even if they're not married. Even if they're not married, that's fine. As long as they're a couple, that's
Hmm.
the aim and the goal, because now you're thinking about double dating, going on, vacations, things like that. But the biggest issue is one, a lot of the couples in our age range that are young, that are melanated, that are together. even if they're not married, they don't stay together for very
Yeah.
long. And so it's we're not able to really connect with them because within the time frame that we would have to connect together, they are battling themselves as a couple.
Yeah.
In your marriage, you oftentimes will have disagreements and arguments, but if the foundation is strong, then nothing is wavering.
And
It's
I
just go ahead.
and I think that because you're talking about couples and finding a couple friendship and fostering that between different groups of couples, and for us also here, because we live in the Gambia in West Africa, one of our issues that we face is our age. Like she said, our age group, the age that we're in, there's not many couples our age here, doing what we're doing, and so you get into the hobbies the hobbies that the couple has and the goals that the couple has. For us, it's way different from the people that we meet because we're meeting couples here that are in their 60s, that are in their 50s, stuff like that. They're older. And so the goals and the hobbies that they have are way different from ours. They come from a different time period. So, we have hobbies where we want to have fun, or we want to go and see something new at this place or something like that. But a lot of the couples that we meet here and a lot of the goals they have is just like chilling at the house, or they might meet up at a restaurant or something like that occasionally, but they're not really doing anything else other than that. And we have other hobbies too, like the work that we do in communities, the work that we do, trying to help this local school right now in Banjul. We have a fundraiser going on, and and that's community too as well. But we like to travel to different places and stuff like that. Go to the beach, go to the parks. Really do walking around different areas. Trying different markets, local markets, and stuff like that. And that's a whole other bag of worms. But your goals and your hobbies as couples, that's really what brings you together to do those double dates and to do all that stuff like that. Outside of that, one person in the couple, like, of course, right? If you have two couples that are coming together to make a friendship or something like that, one individual in that couple is the person that's introducing the couple group. You know, the woman and the woman, they met each other, they became friends, and now they say, oh, let's double date, and then that becomes a couple group. So more than likely, it's not going to be a communication issue. It's not going to be any of that. It's just going to be mainly your hobbies and goals that you're going to try to meld together to really form that good friend group, that good couple group. And that's our issue here in the Gambia right now because, like I said, there's not many, or if any, that I know of really, couples that are our age here.
Yeah,
There are
it's
diaspora, let me be specific.
yeah, it's hard to find. And then if you take away the diaspora, but you still attach the young and melanated and married portion of it or
Hmm.
couple portion of it, then we start talking about cultural differences um within the relationship
And that plays back into
duo.
hobbies and goals, right? Because the locals here, what they do as hobbies is totally different from what we do as hobbies, right?
Yeah.
And what they have goals to accomplish is different from the goals we have to accomplish because we're
Mhm.
not coming here to work a job or go into school or anything like that. So a lot of them, our age, are still trying to go to school, are still trying to elevate in their 9 to 5 career. We have a business. We live our life from off of the business that we have tailored and we're still growing right now. So it's literally, it's hard. Like she said, it's really hard. But every day we're open. I mean, we meet new people, we meet individuals in our age group that are locals, and we make friendships with them and stuff like that. So, I mean, life is an open book. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of progress that we've made already. We've only been here 3 months, but when it comes to like getting a couple friend group, I'm not expecting to get that anytime soon. But we're finding a lot of individuals here, meeting a lot of individual people, fostering new friendships. So that's something that's really growing. So guys, I hope today that you were able to get, some informative information on how to foster that strong friendship, those strong relationships, a little bit to help you in your marriage as well, as far as independence, individuality, having time set aside for yourself, communication, because all these things are super, super important to not lose yourself in a marriage.
Thank you for listening in to today's show. If you like this episode, watch out for our next episode, Raising Children and Parenting. If you're listening to this on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, don't just stay together, grow together.